Candice Denise. I'm the Brow Beauty founder. Brow Beauty is a technique that I created myself just through trial and error and trying to figure out how to have the perfect eyebrow arch. And with that said, I recently was featured on Essence.com and selected as the CoverGirl Unleash Your Beauty contest winner with Essence. And if you go to Essence.com and type in Unleash Your Beauty contest winner, you will see the article featured there of myself, Candice Denise, as well as the whole brow beauty process and the different steps that it takes in order to create the perfect brow. So with that said, I wanted to also do a tutorial for ladies because so many people will ask me, who does your eyebrows, and oh my gosh, and things of that sort, and I'm so honored, so I figured I'd do a tutorial. So let's start so I can show you as well how to create the perfect eyebrow arch using the brow beauty technique. As you see, I've already done one eyebrow for the sake of time, so you can see the finished product. And as you can see, what I start off with, which is pretty much nothing. I don't really have thick brows at all. They're pretty thin, as well as they don't really come out very long. So the first thing is you want to make sure that you have the eyebrow already arched. So whether that's through threading or waxing, but you want to definitely make sure that you've done that first and foremost. I use my own, I razor my brows, so I do them myself. But whatever, make sure you're starting off with a clean brow. Next, we want to make sure we've cleaned our brow, that there's nothing on there, okay? And we want to, I use Neutrogena Make-Up Floss. I love them. You can use whatever, but Neutrogena is, I swear by them, they take everything off as far as makeup is concerned, okay? So you want to do that. Then you want to take your angular eyebrow brush, which is the one that I use is by MAC, and I believe it's number 233. I've had it for so long, so forgive me that the numbers are rubbed off, but it is by MAC, and I believe it's number 233. So we want to take this angular brush. For the sake of tutorial, you want to have a petri dish of water. I usually use my bathroom sink and just run the brush under there, but you might want to have a petri dish as well, or a Dixie cup, and put some water in, just a little bit. You want to wet your brush, okay? So you're going to dip your brush in your water. And of course, you're going to take the excess water off, all right? So I just use my 2 fingers and just take the excess water off. And you can take your makeup cloth and wipe your fingers if you need be, all right? So we are trying to make it as thin as possible. Once you've gotten it thin, then the next step is I take my eyeshadow by MAC. The color is Mystery, and it's a satin shadow, which allows the application to go on a whole lot smoother because it's a satin. So Mystery, we're going to take that, and I do what I like to call a circular motion, okay? So I go around in a circle, because doing like this zigzag is going to make your brush wide again, and we want to keep it as thin as possible for the arch. All right, so do your circular motion to get you, some eyeshadow on there. Once you have it on, then you want to take your eyebrow and you want to raise it. All right, so I pull it just a little right here where the arch is supposed to take place. Okay, so I go along the bottom of the brow, as you see, just filling in the bottom. That's why having your eyebrows previously arched is very helpful, because it allows you a line to follow. I re-dip my brush back in the water however many times I need to in order to make sure the thinness stays. So if you feel like your thinness is going away, dip it back into your water and take that excess water off with your fingers, and then redo the rotating of the circular motion with your eyeshadow. Okay, go back in. We're going to pull up here. I'm going to go along the bottom, filling it in, and it does not need to be perfect, and you'll see why. But we just want to create the arch. Now I'll go up here just a little and fill in, okay? Now I fill in here, and I'm always keeping it because I like to see what I'm working with, and it allows me to get a better eyesight. As you see, I never went in here. I never went in the center, ever, all right? So your eyebrows should stop here. Take your brush, line it up here so you know where it should start. And then on the diagonal where your eye ends, the angle here, line up your brush. That'll let you know where your arch should end. So they shouldn't come all the way down here. I'm sure you've seen that before. So we're going to pull, and we're going to just fill in with the extra shadow. Okay, basically you want to fill in those air pockets, those little holes that are in your eyebrows. For myself, I have thin brows, so filling in those holes help a whole lot. As you can see, you're already seeing it's filled in already, the difference from before, you know, when I had nothing. Then I'm done with that step. I don't really like mine to look really thick because it doesn't look natural to me if you do really thick brows. For me, I like it as natural as possible. And as you see, I never filled in here because the biggest thing for me is that when I fill in here and make it too boxy, it looks unnatural. That's why I think so many times I get compliments is because they look more natural. And people are like, until they get close on me, they're like, oh my gosh, you filled them in? Yes, but I fill them in not to overtake my brow, but to just enhance the brow. All right, so the next thing is I take my eyeshadow brush. As you'll see, it's a regular eyeshadow brush, and this is by MAC, and it's number 213. All right, but it's bushy, so we're going to dip that in the water and thin it out. Take your extra water, wipe your fingers on your cloth, take your extra water off, and we want to make it like a fan. All right, so see how thin that is from the side? It's thin, like a fan. That's the front and that's the side. We want to take, what I use is Studio Fix. I use this as a concealer by MAC. NC45 is the one that I use because you want something lighter than you, at least a shade or two lighter than you are. So that's what I use, NC45, okay? So we're going to use that, and then I literally just take the top off after you've shaken it well, so that you can have some Studio Fix around the brim. And I just take my brush and I just go in here, okay, along the brim. And I just pat it lightly. Now the reason I just go along the brim and not stick it all the way in is because basically that look right there is what we're going for, all right? We want it to just line the edge, just on one side as you see. I don't need it on the other, just on that one side. And then I'm going to go in, pull up the brow as before, and then I'm going to follow the same line. Now the reason we do this is because it's literally like I told you that the eyeshadow doesn't have to be perfect. This is like cleaning up the eyeshadow. All right, so if you go in and just follow that line all the way through, you can take any excess shadow that you had dangling or falling down. It literally cleans it up for you and gets rid of it. And now it sharpens out your line. So now your brow looks like, oh my gosh, it's perfect. I have the perfect brow. Well, we don't want to leave that line sitting like that. So we want to then pull down the excess concealer. And it serves almost like a shadow. So this concealer does a few things. It cleans up and gives you a sharper brow. It serves as a shadow, and then it also serves as a highlighter. So it highlights your eyebrow so that it stands out, but just enough that it gives it just a little pop. Voila. And then the brow is done. And it looks natural, and it doesn't look like they're painted on or drawn on. And now you see I've got my finished product. And just to throw a little something extra in because, you know, I'm a girl. So I use my MAC Breezy is the blush that I like. And I take my, I think this is a CoverGirl. I mix stuff, I know. But this is a CoverGirl brush. And I just pop my cheeks with a little bit of Breezy. Because I think, you know, having a little blush makes your eyebrows stand out. And then I take my Lancome Hypnose mascara. Always twist your mascara. Never do like this because that lets air in there, okay? So go in and twist. And then I just finish out the look by making sure I've got a little mascara on those lashes. Go to the bottom and zigzag up. Zigzag. And there we go. Voila. We got brows, all right? So that's the brow beauty technique. Easy, easy, easy. I'll make sure that I write the products that I use again in the video at the bottom. You can email us at cd.browbeauty@gmail.com for any questions or tips, as well as follow us on Facebook for all the updates that we have going on. You can just type in Facebook Brow Beauty and you'll see everything about us, all right? Thanks again. I'm Candice Denise.